Welcome to ITTV.
Well, as soon as you get a bag of rice, these guidos wanna take it from you. Turn it on. Fuck it. Rice boy summer, bitch. I met a nice Asian girl at a party dance who said, Hello Kitty is my only chance. You come from a nice family, big fat checks. They run an Asian market so they come correct. Bok choy. Rice boy summer, my favorite cosplay bitch. Gonna be a kawaii streamer. Bitch, I'm a karaoke thunder. I'm a rice boy wonder. Chop suey. Kung Fu Master. Bright Boy is a rice boy summer. Cairo, Cafe Rava. Bright Boy is a rice boy summer. Buffet down, no more arowana. Got the opium pipe straight from old Okinawa. Yeah. Asian girl named Ayaka. I asked her parents how much can I buy her. Another from the islands but not Taiwan. And if you think it exists, well, you're just plain wrong. Shout out to my Hong Kong chicks on some Hong Kong shit. Eating sushi at the Sim Sam Shi. You know your boy got that sweet sake on the MSG trip. East side won't slip when I come through. Won't miss, always hitting my target on that katana rip. Got that bubble tea that women want to sip. No gratuity, cause I never tip. I got piles of cash hidden up my sleeve. You are the sick one, we must fall disease. I know tribe, I send them for you. They burn down the whole village like Mongolians do. Noodle crew, I got chopsticks for days. Katuis have dicks, what else can I say? All the knockoff Gucci's that you desire. 100 egg roll tossed in the fryer. Kuya boy, make it cook. Yeah, let me see you make it cook. SNSS crew. Irrational Times production. Spans gang. The Dance. Judas Goats. RO2C Media. We out. Hey, number 69. Nice. Meaty egg roll is ready. Order up.
Welcome to the Irrational Time Studio. That's right. Designed by a boomer. This is where the whimsy is made. Featuring a 1980s triple keyboard, Star Trek bucket chairs. Wow! Is that a lava lamp? That's cool and fun. With novelty-sized studio lighting. Totally unnecessary. And walls that only a stalker would envy. Thank you, and we hope that you will enjoy yourself.
Hello friends, welcome to our YouTube channel, accidentally named Irrational Times. He's got a microphone and his very own YouTube show. Come on over for some real conversation and a little cup of coffee. Those were the days. Hey, 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 it's Bobby J. Never gonna shake it on the RV trip. Never gonna shake it on the RV trip. Yeah, never gonna shake.
Free your mind. It's good for...
Yeah! Don't fuck around or you're gonna get pressed by Johnny Boston.
I'm a very nice boy, I promise you. Hey, Bev, let's make that.
Only go one way on the muddy plane. We're only going one way when you're riding on the muddy plane.
The way she's acting and I'm kinda scared. She's gonna shave your head, then marry your hair.
They had a lot of money and plane tickets to get away. But Officer Scott DiCarlo stopped them. They were detained.
Sammy and Baked went out on a date, just like couples usually do.
One thing I know for sure, about time that we start that show.
Wow, It appears we really are living in irrational times.
Super cool fun trip.
How's she going, boys?
Everybody, indeed. Welcome indeed. Sorry the Dixie was muted. I don't know what's going on there.
And now, here's your
sorry.
host, Irrational Times.
Oh, there we go. Okay, sorry, Dixie. I didn't. Whoops. Guess I should have watched that little thing I clipped together before I played it. Evening, guys. How's it going? Oh, man. Don't mind me. It's been a rough, muggy day, but we're here. Look. Nice. Welcome, everybody, indeed. I don't even know what the heck day it is. What is it? Tuesday. A beautiful Tuesday at 10:05 p.m. Atlantic time. I figure I'll start announcing the time. That way everyone will get used to our little time zone here. Our little Atlantic time zone. Because now, I know what the time is everywhere else. I know where it is in Vegas and in Florida now for some reason, and in Toronto. I know all of these time zones. So I figure I'll share with you our quaint little time zone. Yes, 10:06 it is. So listen here. Tonight, usually we don't like to talk about politics. I'm living in the future, Malevolent Bystander says. That's right. Let's see. Oh, thank you so much, Daryl. Appreciate that. So tonight, yeah, we don't usually like to talk politics too much on here, but listen, if I have to wake up and see some political nonsense on the Twitter, and not just your regular, just random people yakking about it, because that's fine. Oh, Kyle, you're in the same time zone. There you go. Cool. Right on. Time zone brothers. I know Coherent's in the same time zone. Anyways. Yeah, so this morning I wake up and it's not just any old yakety yaks. It's the big man. It's the big man. It's Mr. Trudeau. He's given some speeches now. I guess there's an election coming up, right? They called an election around here, so we'll see. We'll see what goes on. But anyway, so now that there's an election called, of course he has to go out. He has to leave. He has to talk to the people, pretend he cares. And spit some rhetoric that a moth. Do you know what? See, I turned the fans off. This is the problem. I turned the fans off, and now there's space for the flies to get in. And oh, how it's lit up in here. And the flies, they're just like they say, a moth to the light. So now they're coming in. But I'll leave the fan off anyway. But regardless, let's get back to the point, is that, yes, now that there's an election called, the dear leader, Mr. Trudeau, of course, will be doing more of these, I assume. But this was a live Twitter.
It is.
Whoops. Well, I'm going to take it back here. I'm not going to go right into it. I'm going to talk a little bit first. Because we're going to, the second half of the show, we're going to get into local stuff, local politics, which might be a little more fun. But for now, I have to do this first because the whimsy side of this comes at the commercial break. So just to let you know. Anyways, just to warn you. Anyways. So, yes, of course, Trudeau's out doing God knows what. He's out talking, spitting out the rhetoric the same rhetoric he spit out for the last couple of years, and the same that all politicians have, right? It's amazing the the amount of repetition that goes on with these people, and unfortunately, the older you get, the more patterns you notice, and that's how, you start to notice things, and that's where the problems begin. Yes, mug of the night here. Look at this, Nirvana. Yeah, so you can. If Roots, I guess Roots isn't here, so I don't have to feel self-conscious about what mug to use. Harry asks if our maple syrup harvest has been enough for the winter. Almost. So it's almost there, Harry. We're working on it. The trauma teacher. Yeah, exactly. Well, he's not into well, he's into trauma all the time, but he's lately he's trying something different today. He's ignoring all the big problems. Well, actually, no. What am I talking about? This is a very big problem. He's talking about the housing crisis, right? So, but still, I mean, anyways, whatever. We'll get into it. This moth is persistent. Get out of here, Mr. Moth. Ooh, that moth. Hey, Winning TV. Good evening. Roots is in the closet about the chili peppers, you say? Well, I don't know. Look, I don't even need to explain myself with this mug. Look, of course, I enjoyed Nirvana when I was a teenager. No ifs and buts about it. But I don't listen to them, on any regular occasion. That's for sure. Maybe once in a blue moon. But this mug was given to me by my mother-in-law, who is a patron saint. So if you're talking about this mug, you're talking about my mother-in-law, who, laughs in the face of mother-in-law jokes just by her superior being. Really, I do. I love my mother-in-law very much. Oh, that's right. Hobo Chili just reminded me. And, that unfortunately the Rolling Stones drummer Charlie Watts did pass away apparently today or yesterday. I'm not exactly sure when, but regardless. Speaking of Roots, that's right. A very big Rolling Stones fan, and myself am too. Even though we joke about the Beatles and Stones. Charlie Watts, one of the great rock drummers, just up there with Ringo Starr, who's still alive for now. And but yeah, Charlie Watts. He always looked like he was dead. But now finally he, geez, I mean, look, we're all going there, right? I mean, someday, so I can be a little callous, but. That's the extent of it. He did, unfortunately, look like a corpse for the past 20, almost. Was there ever a time he didn't? I'm sure if I look back, like in the 60s, 70s, I'm sure he didn't look like a corpse in the 60s. That would be absurd. He was a young man. Oh my God, Harry Henderson is making some claims. Well, a lot of those guys did hook up with like fairly young girls back in the 60s and 70s. That's just the truth, I suppose. What are you going to do about that? He was the Estelle Getty of the band. He looked 20 years. Yeah, well, at least she was made up for that. Now, so he was he younger than the rest of them? Because, oof, that would be rough. Now, I've never looked into their ages and their bios. I didn't keep up with the Tiger Beat. The Tiger Beat magazines or whatever it was. But anyways, Iceman's living forever. Good for you, buddy. You do that. I wouldn't. I don't want to. I'll go another. I'll double this. I'll double what I'm going. But after that, look. Anyways, yeah. So Hobo Chili will confirm that Charlie Watts was younger than all of them. And of course, we're all wondering how Keith Richards is still alive. But that's just a question for the ages. Hey, a modest mouse. Well, thank you very much for following. Appreciate that so much. Watts, yeah, he was 80. I heard that. Well, I thought I heard he was over 80, but whatever. I wasn't listening that closely. I just, you hear the news, and then you're just kind of like, whoa, Charlie Watts died. Even though, he's up there, you're like, wow. I mean, it's very sad. I mean, just when you see, I don't know, and it's not like I'm relating to it like a musician because he's like my grandfather, to say the least. You know, the age, it doesn't feel like a contemporary or a peer by any means, even though we're in the same business, even though I could have jammed with him and had a good time. And that's the amazing thing about music, obviously, before we get into the dirty world of politics. Music is the opposite of politics, where, you know, right now the people I play with are significantly older, good 20 years older than me, and I love it. These guys are the best. And even when I was 20, I was playing with people that were more than 20 years older than me. I was playing with ancient blues musicians that were near death when I was 20, and that's just myself. But the great unifying thing about music is that, whether it's the universal language or, you know, it just breaks all kinds of barriers. You know, that's the way she goes, boys. That's just the way she goes. But of course, yeah, malevolent bystanders is pointing out that Tom MacDonald is the politics. Tom MacDonald he's not Canadian, is he? Don't tell me that he's Canadian, please. Because because I don't like that. Let's see here. Lucas asks, are they based? One of them is based, and one of them is almost based, but it's not allowed to be because of his wife. Anyways, look, you get to certain ages and then you just go with the flow. But I can't really, well, geez, you know, anyways, whatever. We'll get into too much of that. But anyways, yeah, one of them is extra based, and one of them is, you know, whatever, just kind of. It's funny how, you know, when you, especially with musicians, right? I mean, musicians have usually have like this. They're not fond of the government in general. Us musicians, like as a whole, I would say. Oh yeah, Tom MacDonald is Canadian. It's being confirmed in the chat. Thank you, Kyle, for going and malevolent thing. Oh yes, everyone's confirming it. Thank you very much. See, I've only ever heard Tom MacDonald through Mershon Royce. I've never heard tell of him before that or after it. But anyways, look, we got to get into I forget what I was going to say. Wrap that up. But we got to get into this Trudeau thing because we have to do this before the commercials. Because then it makes no sense, or, you know, for what I did all day. Anyways, so of course we have our great leader, dear Mr. Trudeau. You know, I mean, look, you know him, you love him. And like I said, on the campaign trail, I mean, you know, he's not admitting it, but obviously he is, because, I mean, he's ripping Aaron O'Toole a new butthole here sometime by the end of it, but... Anyways, he is talking about the housing crisis, which is, you know, he says these things that, anyways, we'll see. I press X to doubt, but on that note, let's just see this is what I had to wake up to this morning. This happened the first thing, and I'm scared these things are going to get memory hold just in case, because you'll see there's some treats in here.
It is absolutely great to be back in Hamilton alongside our outstanding Liberal team.
Hamilton, by the way. Hey, Frozen Asian. By the way, Hamilton. Yeah, baby Fidel. 100%, by the way.
From Philomena, who's been a tireless voice for this city for years, to Chad, Lisa, Vito, and others who are coming on board this election.
Oh, nice. He's got Chad working with him. Yeah, Philomena. I'm sure I could look into all of these people he's naming off, and it would be damning. Hey, fat heck. Over on Twitch.
This team is ready to move forward for Hamilton, for Ontario, and for everyone. Mes amis, quand la pandémie a frappé, il n'y a personne qui savait à quoi s'attendre. Mais ce qu'on savait, par contre, c'est qu'on était capable de travailler ensemble.
I'm so sorry, guys. I thought I cut the French out.
Pour s'aider les uns les autres. Vous êtes restés fidèles à vos valeurs, et nous aussi. Depuis 2015, notre gouvernement se tient debout pour la classe moyenne, pour les gens qui travaillent fort pour s'y joindre. On a augmenté les impôts pour les 1% les plus riches afin de pouvoir les baisser pour la classe moyenne. On a aidé les jeunes adultes à se procurer une maison avec l'incitatif à l'achat d'une première propriété. Et pendant la crise, on ne vous a pas laissé tomber.
It's my own fault for not learning French, I'm sorry.
To the wage subsidy, to vaccines, during this pandemic, we chose to have your back.
Yeah, right. Yeah, Hamilton, Ontario, Frozen Asian. That's right. He's in Hamilton. He's in Hamilton, Ontario. Yeah, they chose to have our back. God, everything he says just feels so disingenuous. It's just so, just classic political rhetoric that's just so empty and vapid.
Because as liberals, we know the only way to move forward is if no one gets left behind. And that's exactly what we're ready to keep fighting for.
He's doing the no one left behind, like the No Child Left Behind. Wasn't that like was that a George Bush thing back in the day? I could be wrong, but who was No Child Left Behind? I'm pretty sure that was George Bush.
Just now, I had the chance to chat with Aklima and Paul, who are here with us today.
Aklima
They're
and
a young
Paul.
couple from
A young couple. A nice Aklima and Paul. Aklima.
here in Hamilton who recently bought their first home. As they told me, it was a big, exciting step because it's how they know they're starting their life together. It's how they're building a future that they can share. If you were...
See, he sounds like he cares. See? Oh, Barbara Bush did it. Oh, someone's saying Clinton. Let's see here. It was her reading program, Barbara Bush. No Child Left Behind. Oh, Harry Henderson brings up a great point that I was as well thinking this, Harry, when I was watching this today and recording it. Where is his sign language interpreter? And where is his interpreter for where there's no, I know this is live, but it's not like they didn't have it written. They could have had the subtitles for the French. How are the French people going to understand what he's saying in English here? I mean, we are, for a progressive government, this is very, I don't know, unwelcoming.
Work hard, if you save, your dream of having your own place should be in reach. But for too many people...
Yeah, no, he said no one left behind, but to me it just rings of No Child Left Behind. But Kyle, wasn't the Bush one No Child Left Behind? Correct me if I'm wrong. But, I mean, I would have sworn that the Bush thing was No Child Left Behind. No One Left Behind would be better. Why not, right?
It just isn't. And that's not right. You shouldn't have to move far away from your job or school or family to afford your rent.
Oh, really? Really? Well, do you know what? That's been going on. That's been going on for my whole lifetime. People have been moving away from Cape Breton and going out west to work, right? That's because all of our industries have been getting shut down, one by one. Anyways. Yeah, and Frozen said our options are Trudeau with a turban, and Harper 2.0. Well, I have a feeling Harper 2.0 is getting in, and he's not going to address any of the problems I actually have with the government, but whatever. As long as, but they're the progressive conservatives too. We have no actual conservative party who's going to be speaking about anything that I care about. I have a feeling. I have a pretty good feeling.
You shouldn't lose a bidding war on your home to speculators. It's time for things to change. Au cours des 6 dernières années, on a aidé des centaines de milliers de Canadiens à se trouver un chez-soi. Et maintenant, on propose de nouvelles solutions pour vous aider à vous acheter.
He's proposing a new solution. I caught that.
Parce que les autres partis font
I know
juste
some
parler.
French. I can understand some French.
On a un vrai
I play it up a little
pour
bit.
vous aider à devenir propriétaire.
Okay, get back to English.
To begin with, we'll help you buy your first home sooner. We'll get you to a down payment faster with a plan worth tens of thousands of dollars when you buy your first home, and the launch of a new rent-to-own program.
Oh, nice.
At the same time...
Oh, what? No, applause. Look how smug he looks.
At the same time,
look how
we'll
smug
crack
he
down
looks.
on the predatory speculators that stack the deck against you.
Predatory? What? Who's he talking about? Mr. Trudeau. I hate to point this out, but that could come off a little anti-Semitic. I mean, I don't know who you're speaking about when you're talking about people with the loans and the banks, but I mean, it seems a little anti-Semitic to say that.
So no more blind
hecklers.
bidding. No more foreign wealth. We'll
let's-
crack down on the predatory speculators that stack the deck against you. So no more blind bidding. No more foreign wealth being parked in homes that people should be living in. And to get 1.4 million Canadians, in a new home in the next 4 years.
Now, I don't know if you can hear that. I hope you can. I'm gonna make sure I turn this up all the way. In the background, there is a gentleman heckling him.
Predatory speculators that stack the deck against you. So no more blind bidding. No more foreign wealth being parked in homes that people should be living in. And to get 1.4 million Canadians in a new home in the next 4 years, we'll work with municipalities to get more homes built or renovated. It's not okay that the communities you grew up in aren't in places you can build a life, raise a family, or grow old. It's because the deck is stacked against you.
Just rambling on.
So we have a plan to help fix that.
Okay, good.
So
I'm
you
sure
can
do.
live in the communities you love.
Really?
Les autres partis proposent des plans qui vont faire augmenter les prix et qui vont aider les
They're
plus
still
riches.
heckling him.
La réalité, c'est qu'on est dans un moment où les gens ont des choix importants à faire. Et monsieur, vous allez pouvoir vous faire entendre dans cette élection. Vous allez pouvoir exprimer votre désaccord avec notre approche pour investir dans les Canadiens. Sir, you're going to have an opportunity in this election to make your voice heard by voting. That's what this election is about.
Do you know what? I mean, so now he's going to go after the heckler a little bit, right? And yeah, he went French on me, and that's how we Canadians roll. When we get tough, you go French on them. So he's going after the heckler, right? But look, as far as Liberals go, we have a prime minister that a Liberal prime minister that I actually respected and shook his hand back in the 90s that dealt with these guys. He gave them the Shawinigan handshake, which is grabbing them by the neck and just moving them along. It's John Chrétien I'm talking about, of course. Jean Chrétien was our prime minister who would take care of things. He took a pie to the face. I knew the guy who did it. That was pretty fucking cool. Anyways, but still, I still like Jean Chrétien, but I still like that he put a pie in his face. It's just the way it goes. Hey, you're from Shawinigan? Hey, nice. There you go. Look at that. Am I on Trovo? I thought I had to re-punch in the code. That's weird. Anyways, I'll think about that later. So yeah. Anyways, so we got this guy just mouthing off to the hecklers. I'm sure, and exactly. Someone said earlier that the RCMP are probably his muscle. I'm sure the RCMP are dragging this guy away right now as we speak. So let's see what happens here.
Sir, you're going to have an opportunity in this election to make your voice heard by voting. That's what this election is about. This is why we're proposing big plans to move forward, and Canadians need to be heard. So allow Canadians to be heard, sir. Allow people to vote and make themselves heard for a better future. That's what we're talking about. Prenez le plan d'Aaron O'Toole, par exemple. Aaron O'Toole would give your landlord a tax break on selling the building and do nothing for you. And at the end of the day, this is about you. It's about making sure you can get that home where you have your friends over for dinner, like Aklima and Paul, where you can start a little garden, where you can start a family. The Conservative Party isn't there to help you. I guess that should come as no surprise. After all, the Conservative Party would do what they always do, give the biggest breaks to the wealthiest few.
And is it that right there, that line there, is just this, the repetition. I mean, we've heard people say this for 20 years, but this is just the same jargon over and over again. Just giving the tax breaks to the wealthiest, and of course they're both the same, the same side of a different coin, or this whatever, the different whatever, you know what I'm trying to say. Fool me twice, well, you can't fool me again. Anyways, conservatives hates little gardens. That's right, Ian. Yeah, if Aaron O'Toole gets in, he's gonna come to your house and step on your little garden himself personally. That's right. But look, as far as the issues that matter to me globally, that I don't care about global, but these people are making me. So they all have the same opinion when it comes to their global outlook. No one is speaking to me except parties that can't be elected. So, anyways, this is where we're at anyway. But it's just so disingenuous, these phrases that I've heard for so long. I don't want to be that guy that's like, blah, 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 blah. But, like, you know, my mom was a politician. When I was 6 years old, I knew the name of every premier in the country, and I wanted to be prime minister. It was not healthy. I'm not saying it was healthy to be exposed to that much politics at a young age. But, you know, I mean, this is the problem with when you've been exposed to it for so long, you see patterns, and you hear things like this, and you just roll your eyes. You're just like, oh, my God.
We can't afford Aaron O'Toole's approach on housing, just like we can't afford his plan to rip up our commitment on $10 a day childcare or on vaccinations. And on vaccines, let's be clear.
Okay,
what Aaron O'Toole is planning is just wrong. If premiers and mayors and business owners and families and sports teams and universities, if they all know why vaccines matter, if they all get it, so why doesn't Aaron O'Toole?
First off, Aaron O'Toole has the exact same idea for vaccines as you do. Screw off with that. And second off, all of these people you just named only go along with the vaccine thing because you're making them. You know, the insurance people are for easily involved. This is the collusion is, you know, from the top compartmentalized, and the insurance companies and the I don't know, different things of the government and the healthcare system, all these, whatever. It's all just one big happy family.
You and your family are stepping up to get your vaccine. If you haven't already, make sure you get that done.
Ooh, someone says.
Sir, please get vaccinated, sir.
Oh, look, the guy who's heckling him, he says, please get vaccinated, sir. Mm-hmm. Yeah, how about that? The guy that's opposed to you just yell to him to please get vaccinated. I love it.
Here in Hamilton, the city is looking at mandatory vaccinations for municipal employees.
Are we?
The Ticats, showing why they're such incredible community leaders, are inviting fans to stay and watch their practice after getting a shot at Tim Hortons field.
Really? Really? We got to hear that again. He can't get Tim Hortons right? Tim Hortons. Tim Hortons is a Canadian institution of coffee. Can you imagine?
Are inviting fans to stay and watch their practice after getting a shot at Tim Hortons field. Even Doug Ford has said that he'll make vaccines mandatory for some essential workers.
Even Doug Ford, yeah, exactly, yeah, like Doug Ford's some radical politician. He comes from a legacy family as well, right? They're all doing the same shit. Someone asked if they're giving out shots at Tim Hortons. Well, let's take that back. Let's take that back again. I'm not 100% sure. I think it was just at the football game, at the practice, they were going to have Tim Hortons food there while they got shots. I think. Let's listen, because if they're at Tim Hortons, that's ridiculous.
That's showing why they're such incredible community leaders, are inviting fans to stay and watch their practice after getting a shot at Tim Hortons field.
Oh, Tim Hortons field. Okay, they named the field after Tim Hortons. Ew. Wow. Okay, I love Tim Hortons. I mean, I don't drink coffee, but I mean, I have no problem with Tim Hortons, the company. I mean, but ew, I hate like when the Scotiabank place or whatever, just give it a cool name like the Sky Dome. Now it's not the Sky Dome anymore. Anyways, that's a whole other problem.
Even Doug Ford has said that he'll make vaccines mandatory for some essential workers. Look, there are a lot of things Premier Ford and I don't agree on. There's a lot of hard work to get $10 a day childcare and standards on long-term care done. And
God, you get what you pay for, by the way, right? This is the thing. You get what you pay for. $10 a day childcare. That's fine. I'll pass. I don't want that. That's not. I mean, I don't believe that'll work. That'll be the best for my child. That luckily is past the daycare age. But anyways, but wouldn't it be amazing if one could get the vaccine at Tim Hortons? Now that would be truly Canadian.
More needs to be done on vaccines. Well, none of this happens if Aaron O'Toole is sitting across the table from Doug Ford. And I also know that there are lots of parents in Ontario, myself included, worried about school this fall.
Mm-hmm.
I think about my 7-year-old who can't get vaccinated yet.
Good. Nor should
That's why last week I announced investments in new ventilation to keep our kids.
Yeah, so make sure the kids wear masks at school, by the way.
And teachers protected. There's a lot of hard work ahead.
Oh, yeah.
And our Liberal team is ready to do it. To help you own a home, to build better care for seniors, to deliver quality, affordable childcare, to fight the climate crisis. That's what...
To fight the climate crisis. Yeah, I can stutter too a little bit, but I mean, geez, I'm not the Prime Minister. Jim Cell says he was in an RV parked in the Walmart parking lot tonight, and the sign said it was a vaccine spot. Okay, this might be the first we've heard of this kind of nonsense. Well, it's the first I've heard of it, but I apologize if I am the one bringing you, and based Jim Cell is bringing you the information that there's parking spots labeled vaccine spots. I don't know. You're not, yeah, anyways. It looks like it was a grubby streamer RV. Well, cool, but... wait. It was at a parking lot giving out vaccines. Even worse, because you said it's a grubby streamer van. Anyway, oh my God.
We're ready for. And to make all this a reality,
can you imagine? Can you imagine parking spots only for the vaccinated? Can you imagine though? I'm sorry, that was a stupid take on that comment, but that's pretty hilarious though. Imagine. Sorry, you can't park here. It's only for the vaxxed. Move along.
To beat this pandemic.
Finish this off and then go to commercial.
So go get vaccinated.
No. I mean, I'm going to lie about it. Yeah.
That's our way forward. Because that is our choice in this election. Forward or backwards.
Mm-hmm.
I know where I stand.
Okay, great.
Et si vous êtes d'accord, faites-vous entendre. Votez pour continuer avec du vrai leadership qui a fait ses preuves et qui a de l'ambition. Pour du logement abordable, pour un système de santé fort, pour des bons emplois, pour un environnement propre et protégé. Whether you mail in your ballot or head to the polls in person, make your voice heard.
Okay.
Have your say. You can go to liberal.ca/mail to find out how you can vote now.
Now it's just a commercial.
Together, let's move forward for everyone. Merci. Je suis très heureux maintenant de prendre les questions des médias.
Oh yeah, right. And then they don't. He said, obviously, I know we all know him French. He just said, now we're gonna take some questions from the media, but they didn't do it live. They went, and there were so few people there, that were cheering for him. That was so funny that they had to cheer louder. You could hear this one guy yelling so loud so that the boos wouldn't be so loud. Anyways, guys, oh my God, I know, empty your words were never, thank you, Kyle White, empty your words were never said, and that's it. It just felt like an empty suit just reading what was written for him, and that is unfortunate, but anyways, on that note, looky here, it's time for just a quick break, and we'll see you back in a few minutes.
We'll be right back.
Thanks, Dixie.
Life could be easy, so bright and peachy, but would you want it that way?
And the winner of the cream pie contest is...
This just in. Governments from around the world have issued statements of apologies and admitted their roles in the attempted authoritarian takeover that's been going on for the past 2 years. Australia was the first, after the people overthrew their parliament with boomerangs and militarized kangaroos, forcing the government to admit defeat. In Great Britain, it's not only the politicians that are being held accountable, but the Queen and all of the royal family have been placed in council housing and are being afforded the liberal welfare state system. And as more people all over the world are seeing the power in their numbers, others are becoming empowered to hold their own elected officials to task. This has prompted a wave of whistleblowers at every level of government, laying out damning evidence of manipulation, lies, and blackmail seeping into many industries and organizations. Many of the top professionals in the medical field and news media have began issuing harrowing statements begging for forgiveness for what people are now calling the weaponization of the flu. This newscaster personally would like to take this time and apologize for any role I personally had in helping the dirty, dirty system push its agenda. But starting today, I promise to do what's right. Hi everybody, are you ready to shill? 'Cause it's time to shill like you've never shilled before. We really hope you're liking the show. There's a super cool way that you could let us know. The Streamlabs link is down below. If you wanna help out, if you feel like giving us a little bit of dough, well every little bit helps. It's been almost a year since the people rose up against the corrupt governments of the world. And we like to check in on some of them sometime and see what they're up to now. So today we look at former Prime Minister Justin Trudeau of Canada, the only Prime Minister to have more ethics violations than Conrad Black. What's Justin up to? He's still making dreams come true. Introducing Justin Trudeau, Realtor.
To begin with, we'll help you buy your first home sooner. We'll get you to a down payment faster with a plan worth tens of thousands of dollars when you buy your first home, and the launch of a new rent-to-own program.
He's got trailers, he's got tree houses, he's got igloos, he's got whatever that is. He'll set you up in a nice double-wide mobile, or worst case scenario, he'll just put you up at the Holiday Inn. So come on and see if Justin Trudeau can put you in a new home today.
And now, back to the show.
Nanobot. Yes, indeed. So now you see what I mean. I had to watch the Trudeau thing first, because then the commercials wouldn't have made any sense. Anyways, that's what I did with my afternoon. Anyways, look here. You know what? We don't just have the big politics, because that's all serious and important and can affect our lives. Well, the little politics can affect our lives too, but sometimes it's kind of funnier. And, oh, thanks, Jerry. I'm glad you liked it. Yeah, indeed. And, oh, the bear's your favorite thing. Well, I'm working on it. Look, you know, I have been slack this summer. I have been playing gigs and partying quite a bit this summer, and, you know, aside from my regular responsibilities. So, of course, I have been a little slack on the, you know, the bits. And I've been doing bits for... Oh, sorry, that's right. Conrad Black was never an elected official. I made the video quick, and I realized when I made the connection that, of course, it wasn't exactly, you know, true. It was just that he was a famous figure that was basically exiled from this country and who was stripped of his British... I don't know. Conrad Black's an interesting figure. I don't think he's as bad as people say he is, but he's probably up there. I have no clue. Anyways. But no, he was definitely not an elected official. I believe he tried. I believe he ran. He ran once, I believe, but I don't remember what year that was. I was fairly young. Anyways, we got local stuff, though. Because around here, yeah, some rich dude with British titles. That's about it, right? Yeah, thank you, Jerry. Yeah, it's White Boy Summer. I've been chilling out a little bit. Look, I got the White Boy Summer shorts on, for God's sakes. I'm just chilling because it's cooking in here. But around here, we just had an election. It was a provincial election, so, you know, for basically what you would, the American equivalent of a governor, we had the elections. And I've covered this before recently, that we had a young guy that was... the premier, he took over our premier / you know, your what we would call a governor, resigned in the middle of COVID. COVID got to him. He just didn't want to deal with it. He quit at the very beginning of it. Like he Like he knew. Like he was some kind of prophet. Smart guy. And so now now I don't know if you're Canadian, you'll remember this, especially in the East Coast. When Trudeau won the first election, there was a red wave. There was a red wave. Now in Nova Scotia, yes, the libtards were blowing out, says Base Jim Cell, and that's exactly the case because our new premier is Tim Houston. Now I'm convinced he only won because his name was very close to Tim Horton. It's just like, a couple of letters away. Just take two of them out and add an R, and then you got Tim Horton. Anyways, that's why Tim Houston. What's the temperature in Nova Scotia? Celsius, Hobo asks. Well, around here, Hobo, we don't use Celsius. We do use Celsius. What am I talking about? I was just trying to be funny there, and I fucked it up. No, it's like, what is it tonight? I don't know, 28 or something. I don't even know. It's muggy. It's muggy, and I had to turn the fans off. Yeah, there you go. Look at that. He's got a beautiful family. Look at that, 2.5 kids. I don't know where the 0.5 is, but I'm sure probably on the wife's chest. Oh! Anyways. So this is Tim Houston, whatever. He's the father, husband, and premier designate because he hasn't been sworn in 100%. Oh, NNN uses Kelvin. Nice. Let's see. So he, okay, blah, blah, blah. He's just doing official stuff. His first phone call as premier designate this morning was with Dr. Strange. Yeah, in Nova Scotia, by the way, you guys have Dr. Fauci for the federal thing, and we have Dr. Tam for our federal thing, right? That's great, and she's like an alien. But we have, for our province of Nova Scotia, we have someone named Dr. Strange. Can you imagine? Can you imagine, guys? Dr. Strange. We have a Dr. Strange. And unfortunately, Tim Houston is going to be the same. I have a feeling he's going to be the same as others. We'll see. Whatever. Well, you have to see him with a mask, but none of these officials wear masks, even though they tell us to. But I've withheld as much as I could, and that's all I can do personally. So anyways. Yeah, Dr. Strange. What is Celsius? It's the opposite of Fahrenheit. You don't remember the Jean Chrétien movie, Fahrenheit, Celsius 9/11? Oh my God. Anyways, bad joke. So, anyways, we got him. I'm not so excited, to be honest. I'm not really a Tim Houston fan. Although, again, it's much better than Ian Rankin because I was appalled that there was a politician that looked so much younger than me. Well, whether or not he looked younger, I don't know, but I know that he is. Well, he is the former premier. Anyways, but that's, not too funny. That's just the local politics. Now, if you want to, I'm telling you, if you want to get the real deal with all of this stuff, you have to go follow John Pettypaw. If you want to get the dirt on all of these guys, where they came from, who their family is. But, anyways, but I want to introduce you to something, a local thing. Now this is, I don't know how this will translate, but there used to be a magazine, and it's an online magazine now. It used to be called We Drink Our Milk in Bags. Yeah, but you have to understand, we put the bag in a container, and then we snip the bag and then pour it into a cup, right? We don't drink it from the bag. That would be very messy. And we don't buy our peanut butter on styrofoam. Good Lord. What do you... Canadians sell peanut butter in a foam tray wrapped in plastic. What? Chuck, where are you getting your information from? And by the way, I did get your email, and I'm going to check out your song very after that. But what are you talking about, guys? Styrofoam? Yeah, well, Base Jim sells his prairies use cartons. No milk, no bagged milk anywhere. Look, and personally, I use carton containers as well. But anyways, look. So Frank Magazine used to be a magazine. It still is a magazine, but you know how it is. Magazines are going the way of the dodo bird. And so Frank Magazine is a magazine that used to cater to basically, I don't know. I would have said that they used to just mock everybody, you know, without a political agenda. That's the way I would like to think. But now maybe I was naive. I just felt they were just like the National Enquirer of local stuff, right? They were just an Atlantic Canadian magazine. At least they used to be. Now I think they've expanded by now. But anyways, this is Frank Magazine's Twitter page now, because you can still buy the magazine, but by and large, of course, as everything is, it's just mainly on the internet. So there's two stories here I want to touch on. One very local and one Atlantic Canadian. And so here we go. But now they're like, now to me, if I would have guessed, I would have thought that Frank Magazine would have been against government restrictions, against government mandates, against government things, because they've always been against government stuff. Like, they've always called out government people for the last 30 years, probably, maybe longer. I don't know how long Frank Magazine's been around, but they're kind of, like a taboo subject around here in a way. So, but now they've become this left-wing thing. I don't get it. Like, they're just, and I hate to say even left-wing and right-wing, because I know that is just like a stupid paradox that we get stuck in. But, they seem to have just kind of gone along with the status quo. And that's that better way to put it. They've just seemed to have gone along with the status quo, and they should have been part of a counterculture that doesn't exist. We are the counterculture, unfortunately. I feel like I'm part of a counterculture that doesn't exist. I mean, it's very odd, but whatever, and like my group of people are nowhere near Atlantic Canada. My group of people are spread out between here, Toronto, Florida, Connecticut, where we're winning TV, all these different places, Australia, all these different people that I'm friends with on the internet are spread out everywhere, right? We can't, anyways, but so we don't really have any kind of local kind of subculture, counterculture kind of movement that I feel like there is. So anyways, there's this very famous actress named Kathy Jones, and Frank Magazine is doing a hit piece on her, because apparently Kathy Jones is not going along with the status quo, and so they're kind of mocking her now. I can read what they say about her, but you can only imagine it's just the same stuff they say with everyone. Here, listen.
But this one's good because all it does is fucking make your cells into little fucking factories that prevent COVID. This I resent. There was no COVID in fucking Halifax, and then they wind up rats with COVID in them, send them out into the fucking community, and people are starting to get sick with COVID. Oh, I wonder why. How did COVID get here, you motherfuckers? You put it in people's bloodstreams. Now, I don't know if it's shedding. I'm not a fucking doctor. I get that pointed out to me constantly. Everybody. They just want to fucking... And there's a master fucking...
Oh, anyway. Oh, whoops.
Plan.
I started in the middle. Sorry, guys.
Some people are getting placebos. I'll go to my grave thinking some people, thank God, are getting duds. Like, look at the rules around it. Doesn't matter if you get it next month. Doesn't matter if it gets warm now. It used to have to be cold. This one causes clots, but this one's good because all it does is fucking make your cells into little fucking factories that prevent COVID. This I resent. There was no COVID in fucking Halifax, and then they wind up these
That's right. She's from This Hour's 22 Minutes. Kathy Jones is a very famous Atlantic Canadian actress around here, anyway. So good on her for at least again. I don't necessarily agree with what she's saying. I have my own feelings on it, but I mean, God, I feel like this is a point where we come together as far as people that have different opinions, but we see the same outcome. You know what I mean? Where we see any authoritarian government taking over, we should all be pretty much united. I don't even care how crazy you are at this point, to be honest. Anyways, This Hour's 22 Minutes is still on. Yeah, that's right. That's right. So, anyways, but that's Frank Magazine. What do they have on her? No laughing matter. Oh yeah, and then you go on Facebook here, and then this is where Frank Magazine really let you know what they think about Kathy. It's like they just they quote her, and then they mock her, saying, "And make no mistake, she's done her research." I'm pretty sure they're mocking her. Yeah, they're just quoting her. That's all you need to do these days. You don't need to actually come out and mock anybody. You just need to quote them and just say, "Oh, and make no mistake, Kathy's done her research," and you just assume it's sarcasm. I don't know. Are they being sarcastic? I guess Frank Magazine is a counterculture thing. You know, I can't tell sarcasm in print. Anyways, my speakers are crackling up. But Frank Magazine also brought us this even more local thing. With a friend of mine, well, you know, a buddy. I don't want to say it's not like we're close, but he's a town councilor here in town, and we grew up together. And he's you know, I would say someone that I know pretty well. Anyways, so Frank Magazine. This is the thing. They try to frame things and vilify people. Like this town councilor here. This is a guy that I voted for him. You know, see my friend Mr. O'Coin. You know, he's a public figure now. I guess I can talk about him. Whatever. Jason O'Coin. He had a problem. There's a local immigrant family that lives near him, I guess, and there's big garbage pickup day, and the immigrant family thought that the lawnmower he had there out in the lawn was part of the garbage pickup and took it, and I guess it wasn't, and it was a mistake, and it kind of blew up, and they had an argument, you know, or whatever. And because Jason's a town councilor, word got out, you know. And truth is, Jason is kind of a hothead, but he speaks his mind, and that's why he got elected, obviously, because everyone was like, well, you know, he's loud and can be, you know, overbearing sometimes, but that's what you need, right? That's what they know that, right? And Frank Magazine is a great name, Hobo Chili, you know, and I wish they would have become less snowflakey. I hate to say that word, but whatever. They're just like, ugh. Anyways, we'll get into this. So that was the big debacle anyways. So, and he just got elected in, so they're, you know, saying rookie counselor. So they're, so yeah, the family of the immigrant family, that, because they keep pointing out that it's an immigrant family, and because they're framing it. Because Jason, you know, himself is not white, per se. I mean, They claim in this article it's his skin, my friend Jason's skin color is because of his Acadian background. Now, I'm not 100% sure on that. Whatever, it doesn't really matter to me. The point is, his nickname was Tar Baby when we were growing up, and everyone called him that in town, and no one, and he, you know, he called himself that. That's what it was. And they're claiming that he got in an argument with the only other Brown family in town. First off, they haven't been in town in a while, and second off, Jason, you know, he's not like that. It's hilarious, right? He obviously just had a problem with a neighbor, with someone close by because of that, and, you know, it wouldn't have mattered who they were, right? So, but Frank Magazine is trying to drum this up, saying that, you know, that he got in a fight with the only Brown family in town, and then Jason's response was, I mean, okay, maybe Jason didn't have to handle it like this, but he goes, you know, my name was Tar Baby in high school, right? So, I don't know. I mean, I don't know if that was the best move, but it's the truth. And everyone in the chat, not everyone, of course there's some crybabies in there going, wham, wham, be nicer to these people. It's like, I mean, it was a misunderstanding, you know. Look, Jason would have been a hothead with anybody, you know, but they have to make it out like it's some kind of racist thing when it's not. I don't think, anyway. I really believe it's not. Anyways, so, but yeah, Jason pointing out the fact that his nickname was Tar Baby in high school. But the comments mostly are pro Jason. Of course, they're not all, but like, let's see here. No, I've known Jason since I've been born. He's always been a stand-up guy and says what's on his mind. Oh, I've had my fair share of incidents, unquote, with the same refugee family. My kids are friends with their kids. I have nothing against them. I just don't think they like to adapt to the rules of Canada and or the area when told differently, and they pull the race card or look at whoever they they have 10 heads. Okay. Let's see here. I've been one of those people who have told their kids to stop doing something for fear of them getting hurt or hurting someone else several times. Okay, well, there you go. 100%! I too have witnessed it, including the lawnmower retrieval. Jason conducted himself well through the whole thing. Assuming the mower was ripe for the taking, perhaps asking just before Amanda Bagley. That's a whole other topic. We don't need to get into that right now. Yikes. Oh, it's amazing. Yeah, Jason's a stand-up guy. The only brown people in town. You sure don't know the community you're writing about. Yeah. Yeah, Jason's a great guy. Anyways, whatever. It's just funny that that's Frank Magazine. They're trying to race bait. Trying to race bait. Not gonna happen. Not gonna happen on our watch. I'm gonna call that shit out every time. It's just funny when it happens to like someone I went to school with. And I've played poker with Jason and been over to his place. I don't know, whatever. It's the way it goes. But like, it's not like. But also, it's not like I'm that close to him that if he did something wrong, that I wouldn't call him out on it. That's for damn sure. I don't care who you are. But, anyways, salut. Yeah, Dan Snot. Jason definitely is a white supremacist, just like Larry Elders. But look, you know what I mean? It's just it's the way it goes. His nickname was Tar Baby, by the way. Growing up, everyone called him that. Probably some teachers, too. Guaranteed some teachers called him that, too. 100%. Not all, but some. There would have been a couple. Ooh, I took everything. Oh, my goodness. I took everything off of the computer, even my outro. Now I got to find the outro. Listen here. Listen here, you hoodlums. Thanks so much for hanging out. And we are going to see you guys tomorrow. No, we're going to see, we'll see you tomorrow. The lovely assistant might be back tomorrow. Let's see here. Yeah, we'll be back tomorrow with the lovely assistant at a triumphant return. And we're very excited about that. And she can tell you all about that tomorrow. Well, thank you there. Rebecca P. just followed. Appreciate that so much. Yeah, she is in Halifax again, so she'll have some city stories tomorrow. And but David, it might be the last time she's in Halifax because she's been months every week going there. But this is the last time for a while, so that's great news. But I'll let her tell you more about that tomorrow. Until then, of course.
Thank you for tuning in to the Irrational Times live stream. Promotional consideration provided by Kitty B and Fat Keck Boy.
Head over to Nightwave. Don't forget that
Guests of the Irrational Times live stream stay at the luxurious Holiday Inn Hotel. Bedbug free since 2018. Transportation provided by Frozen Asians Limousine Service. Get you there on time, every time. So from all of us to all of you, this is Dixie Crush saying we'll see you next time.
Kimmy, what are you doing? Deleting stuff. Okay, guys. Good night, everyone. See you later. Crocodile tears of rain. Oh.
guys all still here? Don't you guys have wives and children? Get out of here. Go. It's over. The show's done. Okay, bye. See you.